Welcome to YOUCANIC. In this video we're going to take a look at how to replace the turn signal over here, the high beam switch, and then also the wiper. The procedure is going to be similar for both, so we're going to go through the procedure. You can replace either one at the same time. You don't have to replace them both. They are separate, so you can replace either one, whichever one is bad. So what you want to do is you want to drive your Ford with the wheels pointing straight forward, then park it on a ground level, pull the steering wheel towards you as far as you can, especially if you got electric power steering. Then you want to pull the hood release under the dashboard, go and disconnect the battery negative terminal, then wait about 10 minutes. After you've waited a little bit, come inside, make sure you press the horn a couple of times. We want to ensure all the electric current is completely discharged because the airbags can deploy and that can cause injuries and death, so be careful about that. The next thing is we want to remove the airbag. So the way you remove the airbag on this Ford is you would go here, there's a hole right at the bottom. You want to take something like with a flat head, so Phillips screwdriver doesn't work too well, and you would come here and you'll be pushing on a spring. Now it is hard to see it, you won't be seeing the spring you'll be pushing, but let me show you. So what you'll be pushing is right here. You'll be pushing up on this spring. Alright, you can see this spring right here. You'll be pushing up. So it releases the bottom and the bottom pops out, and then the top, then you press it and then you move it up, and then these it's got these hooks right here, they go right there, and that's why you want to pull up. So once you do that, the next thing is you have the airbag connectors on the back. You'll see that the yellow piece has an orange in the center. You want to use something like a really small flathead screwdriver there to pull those orange pieces out, and that will allow you to then pull these connectors out. So the same thing over here. So, and then you pull these out. Then you have one more connector up here, has a red piece, and then once you pull out the red piece, then you can press right here to pull that connector out. Now carefully take the airbag and put it to the side. Do not drop it. The next thing is we're going to remove the bolt here. So this is a 24 millimeter bolt. You want somebody to help you kind of hold the steering wheel while you break loose that bolt. Okay, because it's going to be tight in there. And then once you break it loose, then it should be easy to come off. Okay. So that comes off, and then the next thing is we want to mark here. Take a marker, make a line straight down to a steering column. The steering wheel needs to go back in the exact same position. Next is we have this gray connector here. You want to press at the top of it and then pull this off. Now our steering wheel is free to be removed. We remove this from the vehicle. The next step is to take this upper piece and pull this up. Okay, so that comes off easily. It just simply clipped, but the lower piece has a couple of screws. You have a T25 screw right here, and we have that removed. So you can see that right here. It's a T25, and then you have a 7 millimeter screw further down. So they both have to come off in order for this plastic trim to come off right here. So you can remove that, pull it, put that down. Alright, so here we have the clock spring. What we recommend is put a little bit of tape here because you don't want to turn this clock spring around, and even if it comes up at the top, you're going to have issues with the clock spring afterwards. So you don't want to rotate this clock spring around. But right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, we have these Torx 10. We have these removed, these little screws. They can be a little bit challenging. Come off. I can easily strip, so make sure you really have the right size wrench for those, otherwise they'll strip. And once you remove that, the next thing is you have this connector right down here. We pull this off down, and then this clock spring can be removed. You simply pull this away. It is plugged in there, but it just slides out. And now here we have the wiper switch and the turn signal. Now these are very easy. Right on the side here, just like the clock spring, you have the T10 screws right on the side here, and on the side here you're gonna have two T10 screws as well. We have removed it on this side. Once you remove them, you simply pull this out. As simple as that. Okay, that's all there is. It plugs in right here. This connector on the back, but there's nothing that you need to worry about. That all you have to do is two screws right here. You can replace just that, or you can replace just this right here. So you would want to pull this out, take the two screws out, top and bottom here, and just simply pull that off and install a new one. It's as simple as that. And when you reinstall everything in reverse order, the most important thing to keep in mind is this bolt here needs to be, it's recommended to replace it, and you need to use a thread locker so it doesn't get loose just from driving, because that would be extremely dangerous. Steering can come off. So use thread locker on that, and then that's it. And the airbag, you're gonna come and lock it up at the top first. So you come up from the top from the steering wheel, and then you push it in. These connectors on the back, there's a black one and an orange one. You can't switch them; they only go in one direction. And then the orange piece needs to be pressed in for it for these to lock. Okay, so they don't come loose just from driving. But that's it. Replacing those will take about an hour or two at most, and it's a relatively simple. The other thing to keep in mind is that the clock spring, when you reinstall it, make sure that this, again, I strongly recommend put a little bit of tape here. Of course, remove it when you put it together, but so that this doesn't rotate and spin around and come to a different position. So keep that in mind as well. But that's it. Thank you for watching.